So if you're still watching, I'm assuming that you are now deep in the lore. In this video, what I've done is I have gathered information on two primary members that you guys requested me to do a deep dive on. Now, keep in mind, all the information that I have found is not either confirmed or not confirmed. Some of this is confirmed, some of this is just assumptions. This is the problem with the lore behind this group. A lot of people have been making up fake rumors and want this situation to be more than what it is. Other than that, let's get straight into this and let's get this done. A subreddit called EggGod Lore exists for one reason: to archive a person whose online identity keeps disappearing. Posts explain that EggGod's history is scattered across interviews, deleted accounts, and fragments of old uploads. Some of these users attempt to reconstruct timelines using screenshots, music uploads, live stream clips, and eyewitness accounts, but you don't know what is true and what isn't half the time. But immediately one problem appears. No single version of EggGod's life fully matches another. In a Soft White Underbelly interview, a documentary series focused on marginalized lives, EggGod describes growing up in an unstable household. He claims he's originally from Seattle, his family was unsupportive, and he had an abusive stepfather that mocked him for wearing girls' clothes. We'll get into that a bit more now. He says he left home around 2019, alleging family members relied on him financially and for rent. But online accounts complicate this story. A person claiming to know him earlier describes a completely different origin: Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he was known locally as Boxman. According to this user, he walked downtown wearing boxes on his head, constantly seeking attention, already attempting to build a persona years before EggGod existed. Whether both stories are true remains unclear, and uncertainty becomes a reoccurring theme when we talk about EggGod. And an earlier YouTube song titled "I Drink Coffee" reportedly shows EggGod before his tattoos and his body modifications.
Freaking eggs, and I drank some freaking coffee. Some freaking eggs, and I drank some freaking coffee.
Viewers often point out to this video as proof that EggGod wasn't always extreme, just someone trying to make music and gain recognition. Former acquaintances describe heavy influence from bass music culture and artists like Lil B. The goal seemed consistent even back then: become known, become seen, become memorable, spread the word of EggGod. Now, around 2020 to 2021, EggGod began transitioning and taking hormones, openly discussing gender identity struggles during interviews.
I'm about to take my hormones. This is estradiol, this is spironolactone.
He also stated he survived primarily on SSI disability income. At the same time, online behavior intensified dramatically. Many accounts were banned or deleted, making documentation difficult. But you can still come across many of these accounts if you're doing a deep dive or you're on your rabbit hole learning about SIGIL KULT or EggGod. I promise you will come across one of these accounts and you will scroll for hours and you will be traumatized. To some viewers, this looked like performance art. To others, it looked like deterioration happening publicly. So, EggGod eventually relocated to Los Angeles and experienced homelessness. Videos from this period show him alongside another street figure named Crazy, appearing frequently during outdoor live streams. I actually just came across a random YouTube channel from EggGod and it showed him and Crazy eating burgers, just doing random things in downtown Los Angeles, but the channel only featured about 5 to maybe 8 videos. It was nothing crazy like what we are seeing today. But observers during this time reported chaotic conditions, unstable living situations, rotating companions, constant filming. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is now when Alexandria Hotel comes into the story. Later, he reportedly obtained government housing, a location many believe would later become the House of SIGIL KULT, or the link-up spot, if you will. Several relationships appear throughout the timeline. One partner, Stella, disappears from the narrative without clear explanation, but later, EggGod appears with Litzy, whose reported runaway status sparked concerned discussions online. Now, none of these claims are officially verified, but they intensified the scrutiny online towards the group. It just was not a good look. People did not like seeing EggGod with this young girl in LA just running around causing chaos. Now, at the same time, this is when the rumors began to get more crazy, and none of this is confirmed. You had some posts online claiming that EggGod secretly possesses hidden wealth or offshore income. Even more people online or on Reddit were saying that most of the members are actually just pretending and are all rich. But this pattern mirrors a common internet phenomenon. When audiences cannot fully understand someone's behavior, mythology fills the gaps. But almost everything about Sigil Cult and Egg God becomes more unclear. And this is when we can now let someone else enter into the story. Enter in Salvi June. As the Egg God lore expanded across Reddit, Discord, underground internet circles, one name kept appearing again and again: Salvi June. But unlike other figures in the story, Salvi's isn't just mythology, he might be real. He's allegedly from Westchester, Miami, and attended Miami Coral Park Senior High School, where classmates reportedly recognized him. Now, believe it or not, him and his brother were locally popular during the SoundCloud era. They nearly received industry attention around 2019, and they were even allegedly close to a potential label opportunity. This is kind of when Salvi June's story takes a dark turn. A separate Reddit thread discusses alleged legal issues connected to Salvi June. However, the information remains unverified. But the thread largely consists of screenshots, secondhand claims, debates, and comment replies. But no public documentation is available. If you are curious about the charges, you can find them on Reddit or somewhere online, but they appear to just be screenshots of some form of paperwork, but no listing of actual charges. At this point, the claims exist only for internet discussion. It's only to keep you talking. It's almost like you begin to question if any of these news pages that are reporting news on the group or the members, if they're there just to fuel the fire, or if they're reporting anything real. And as of recently, Salvi June has been releasing music and claiming on his Instagram page that he's going to be dropping content soon, exposing Sigil Cult for what it actually is, whatever that means. Most likely Salvi June is just trying to promote his music and promote his content more. Despite years of content, major questions remain unanswered. What happened before online fame? What parts of the story are performance? What parts are crisis? And what is actually happening inside Sigil Cult today? Is there a goal? Are they actually working towards something? What is Ruben Cloud doing right now? Do you remember this video?
That's what I said about that bitch.
You look like a demon yourself.
I am.
That kid right there is Tokyo Frenzy, and I've known him for over 3 years actually. Let's go ahead and talk to him and get his insight on everything and what he thinks about the situation in Sigil Cult. Right now, this morning, it is 6 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't know what time it is for my boy over here, but
It's 3 a.m. in Los Angeles right now.
so yeah, Tokyo Frenzy is going to give us basically a rundown of how the group really is, what happened on the day of the hotel incident, just some insight, whatever he's comfortable with giving. We're not going to push anything, and yeah.
Absolutely, bro, and I'm happy to be able to share some insight because I know there's a lot of like misinformation going around about Sigil Cult and stuff, and I want to clear up a couple things and also just spread a neutral perspective about it. So, I hit up Sigil Cult because I've known Ruben on Instagram for a little bit, and Ruben's a cool guy, and I wanted to see the chaos from the Instagram Reels myself. It was a lot earlier on. It was before things got really big. It was when it was just Ruben, Egg God, and Cats in the house, I believe. Things were a lot calmer. In regards to the video where the security guards were filming us and we were, putting our phones in the security guards' faces. So I pulled up, and I didn't even get into Egg God's building. I had pulled up and I was meeting Ruben at the store around the corner to go buy stuff from the smoke shop. And when we had come back, we were sitting by the sidewalk, the public sidewalk too. It's not like public property and stuff. Downtown LA is very, very strict where it's like if you are on the sidewalk, you are not on private property. It's a public sidewalk. And we were kind of like huddled around in a group outside of the door. And that's when the security came out and kind of started filming us and stuff. I think he thought we were trying to get in, but we were waiting for Egg God to come downstairs and come out, and then we were gonna go hang out in the alleyway. But yeah, this like a lot of stuff happened in the video, and I feel like each perspective kind of shows a different side of it. The security guards definitely only show what they want you to see. They came up to us. We weren't harassing people or any other tenants at the Hotel Alexandria. It was pretty peaceful. Obviously we're outside, we're hitting balloons, we're doing whatever like Sigil Cult kind of gets up to, and that's like, as far as the security is concerned, it's none of their business, especially if we're doing it out on the the front, especially because most of the time we hung out on the sidewalk at the Alexandria, we were across the street. We weren't even on the same side of the street that the Alexandria is on. So a lot of these conflicts happen from across the street, like the security guards like yelling at us or whatever. Um, and I get what AB be saying in the videos. He's just doing his job and whatnot. But they're definitely trying to capitalize off the situation and clout chase a little bit. Like I seen him go on No Jumper interview, and I know that has absolutely nothing to do with his job and him uh kind of just protecting Hotel Alexandria and stuff. His big argument whenever he's kicking us out and stuff is that, oh, I'm just doing my job and I'm just trying to feed my kids. And I'm sure feeding your kids and just doing your job doesn't entail recording us all and also going on No Jumper interview to capitalize off of it. But they do treat Egg God with respect, I will say. Egg God never formally got kicked out of his house. From what I know, he chose to leave. He has another spot that he went to where things were less hot. I think also once the address got very popular and people were posting the address everywhere, that also created another issue with it wasn't just us and people that were with Sigil Cult coming up and down, but it was also fans. And it was like 10, 20 people at a time. And I'm not sure how Section 8 like works, or at least the Alexandria specifically, because I know they were really, really chill with guests at first. But I know like other places, like there's a Section 8 over in La Brea in Hollywood where they allow no guests. You have to show a section like an ID to get in, and that's even if you're somehow allowed in. So I know every Section 8's different and has different rules and stuff. And I know they were super, super chill at first. I think when things really, really started to take a chaotic turn was when Salvi came along. But what a lot of people blame Salvi for is quote unquote trashing the room. That was a group effort over time. I feel like I don't think Salvi necessarily broke the room himself. It's not like there's videos of Salvi breaking shit. There is videos of Egg God smashing stuff, and I believe he had a manic episode of sorts, which, you know, we all have our moments at times. I feel like overall, at least the situation with the Alexandria and the two videos that I was in, those were taken on 2 separate days. One of them I have a yellow shirt on, and one of them I have a black shirt on, so it was like 2 different days. But all we were trying to do was go upstairs with the Nas tanks and just record some music. I have my backpack with my music equipment in there. The intention every time that we go up there isn't to trash the room. It's to record music and make content and stuff. And in regards to everything else going on with the group, I'm not really educated on that. I come around with them sometimes because Ruben's good vibes, Ruben's good peoples, and from my personal experiences with Ruben, he's been a very, very awesome and great dude. He has a bunch of shit going on like around him right now, and you know, I hope he figures all that stuff out. I don't think he's inherently a bad person because a lot of the things that people have criticized him for have absolutely no evidence. Just like the shit with Salvi and the shit with Egg God, like a lot of stuff is just not true. People are bringing up fake documents on a lot of them. Like I know people were saying Salvi June was like a pedophile and was caught with CP. And he posted on his story like multiple times, like his full name and his date of birth and stuff. And you can look that man up on any registry. He's not on there. So take that for what you will. There's a lot of people on the internet trying to add fuel to the fire to make it more interesting than it really is. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like as far as my experience goes with them. Recording music's pretty fun. The vibes are definitely something that you wouldn't witness anywhere else. It's a one of a kind group, I would say, especially Egg God and Ruben. I feel like they're very, very unique. And also one thing that I want to also add, since we were talking about everyone getting kicked out to Alexandria, Ruben and Egg God were not the issue, and I'm pretty sure the security guard like even said that at one point too, when it was just Ruben and Egg God, like it wasn't even an issue. And like even when it was like people like me and Snakes and stuff that stopped by, it was never an issue. The security guards were just always wary when it was a lot of heads going up there because they, you know, were aware of the vandalism going on in the room. I really hope that Egg God doesn't get fucked for that. I don't think he will. I think I had a trashed apartment once and I got $27K in debt from it, but that shit all goes to collections. And I think Ed God's the type of fool where he doesn't give a fuck about no collections. He's still gonna ball. He's still gonna make his money. So yeah, I mean that's like the most that I have to say about that whole situation. At least regarding the clips that I was in. I'm not really doing a whole lot in the videos. I kind of just like I'm there for the moment. I fuck with everybody in the group, Ruben, Ed God, and all that. They're all cool peoples. Yeah, so on media asked if I have a crazy story about Sigil Cult. I got a few crazy stories, but I'll tell y'all one funny ass one. So we were all kicking it downtown. We were outside of 6th Street Market, which is where Ed God's place was. We were buying NOS tanks, and I was walking back with them. It was me and Cats, and I believe Snake Sluts, and a couple other people. And we come outside the Taco Bell cantina. I think it was a Taco Bell cantina. I forget what it was, maybe a bar of some sort, but I see Ruben outside because we were going to meet Ruben up outside the Alexandria, and I see Ruben on the street with his shirt off, fucking pouring milk in his eyes, and I was like, what the fuck? So, like, instantly we're all trying to get stuff to kind of help Ruben out, and we're trying to, like, figure out the situation, and these 2 security guards are, like, standing next to Ruben, and I go up to him and I'm like, did you fucking do this? Like, are you the one that maced him? And Ruben's instantly like, nah, they're just standing here, bro. They just watched this shit happen. And apparently there was a pedophile that lives in Ed God's building. There's like paperwork known on him. Everybody knows he's a pedophile. I think he was in a wheelchair too, if I'm not mistaken. And Ruben had gone up to record him, and Ruben's the type of dude, he's not gonna walk up to you, punch you in the face or nothing. Like, he's gonna walk up to you and record you, and like, you know, so Ruben obviously walks up, probably had his phone out or something, and he just got maced in the fucking face, bro. And that shit was crazy. We had to pour like milk on his face for an hour and shit. And then this fool pulls up and he gets us studio time, and we pulled up to RZN studio right after that, and that fool, it was like nothing ever happened, bro. That fool, I've never seen someone take getting maced like a champ like that, bro. Fucking, he was pouring milk out of his new rocks on some rockstar shit. Get me in the booth, Sigil Cult, bitch. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that is one thing I can say about those fools, is they are on some rockstar timing. Regardless of anything else that you may hear, those fools are definitely on some rockstar timing. You can mace them in the face. They don't give a fuck. They still gonna pull up to the studio and they still gonna make bangers. They're all hella consistent with music, bro. I usually get overstimulated when I'm in big groups with people when I'm on drugs and shit. I'm not really the best engineer in times like that. So, like, I really wish that I had been able to make more music with Ruben, because that fool can make a song even while he's maced crying on the fucking mic, bro. Shout out to Ruben. That shit, yeah.
Yo, Tokyo, I really appreciate you for doing this small little interview and for answering these questions, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, bro. But before I do go, since my first interview was uploaded about Sigil Cult, you can find numerous interviews online that Salvi June is doing, and numerous videos that Ruben is still deciding to upload on Instagram, just walking around downtown Los Angeles. Apparently tomorrow, on March 24th, they have a meetup at the No Jumper building, or with No Jumper, as well as the security guard is doing numerous videos online and on YouTube. This podcast decided to use my fucking thumbnail and the logo that I created for the Sigil Cult. But yeah, it's just obvious that this security guard is just trying to justify doing all this content. He's clearly trying to make some kind of money, or is thinking that there's a bag at the end of the fucking rainbow when there just is not. He's not going to find any kind of money after all of this. I also don't know why I decided to do this, but I attempted to try to DM Ed God for an interview, and he told me that it would be $1,000 for an interview, so that did not go well. If you followed the story or have archived clips, timeline information, leave it down below in the comments. Drop a link, because this story is not finished, and the internet is still watching it unfold. Because we're all still watching, and who knows what's going to happen next. I want to tell you guys thank you all for the support that I received on the last video, and thank you for 100 subscribers. Remember, besides Sigil Cult, there's a lot more important things going on in the world right now. If you guys want more content from me, follow my TikTok, my Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. On TikTok, I try to post funny content every day, underground content. I do interviews. If you guys want to message me about anything, any questions, any commissions, DM me on Instagram. Let's talk. You guys got any content suggestions? Leave a comment down below. And remember, don't forget to drop any updates that you hear from Sigil Cult down in the comment section below. I'll see if I make a part 3. Leave a comment if you guys want me to. I'll see what else is out there about the group. Other than that, I think my last 2 videos, even my part 1, pretty much covered everything. Alright, thank you guys, love you, be safe.
Rap bottom, sie sich an, dann geh ich raus. Ich tanz, reibe Money am Bauch. Wohn BMW, dann ich steige hinten aus. Der Morgen kommt und die Scheiben tauchen auf. Wir waren Teens, haben zum ersten Mal geraucht. In einem Kinderzimmer, deine Mom, was du raus. Rap bottom, sie sich an, dann geh ich raus. Und ich tanz, reibe Money am Bauch.